morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Listen, I wanted to get on right quick, and I wanted to share with those of you, of course, if you are part of the program now that you're ordained, what's next, whatever elders should know, what course that's offered online, along with an eBook curated with ministers who are under study to become elders, newly ordained elders, or even seasoned elders. We also have other ministry leaders, protocol officers, just people who are interested in learning more about the function of an elder in the local church and beyond. And so we're on session 4 now, and I thank God for those who have been with us since day 1. I thank God for you. I appreciate you and being on this journey with your cohorts. And so on next Thursday, October the 26th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have our final Zoom session, a live session that's private and exclusive for those who have taken the last course in this particular program, I should say, session 4. So with that being said, this particular session is going to focus on 3 key areas, one being pastoral care, the other being pastoral counseling, and then finally your personal ministry. And so when I talk about pastoral care, I'm talking about in-reach and outreach. Now, for those of you who are church, you know, in-reach is reaching those who are lost in the house, right? And that's sheep or members who are gone missing, what we call MIA. We haven't seen them, we haven't heard from them, but elders and ministers need to recognize that's just not the responsibility of the new members pastor or the big brother, big sister ministry, which you should be a part of if your ministry has one. But it's also the responsibilities of the elders and ministers. That's one way that they help undergird their senior pastor, by touching the people who are part of the ministry, right? When you see someone's not there, being interested, being concerned, just checking on them, making sure all is well, and of course trying to get them to come back to church, right? If they've been out for a while. The other aspect of InReach deals with our seniors and those who are homebound, who are not able to get to church for whatever reason. Maybe they no longer drive, maybe they don't have transportation, maybe under doctor's orders they're not able to leave the house. People who are just ill and just can't get out the house, and so they're watching virtually. Now, of course, before there was virtual church, church was always available on TV, and so sometimes those people, if your ministry was on television, they can catch you on your local channel or on a Christian network. If not, they were watching somebody's ministry, but they also had a pastor at some point, right? And so we have to be concerned about the seniors and those who are not able to get to church. And a lot of times in the past, I should say, deacons and elders and ministers will go to the home of those people and serve them communion, minister to them, encourage them, pray with them. We can't forget about them, right? We cannot forget about them. And so we need to remember that they still are members of the local church, and they still obviously want to have that contact with their church. And sometimes it's directly with their pastor, or sometimes in an extension of their pastor through their pastoral assistants or their elders and ministers. So we have to remember that. And then also, when we talk about in-reach, it's also being there for those members when they're hospitalized for whatever reason, depending on what type of procedure they haven't done, especially if it's major surgery. Their pastor or someone from their church should be there to pray with them, right? Now, they have chaplains at local hospitals, of course, but then also if someone is available from the church, that should be a priority. That shows care, that shows concern. And so we want to talk about that. That's all a part of in-reach, touching people who are in the house, right, when they need a touch from their pastor or someone who's representing their pastor, which could be the elder or the minister. The other thing we want to talk about is under pastoral care is outreach. You know, we always think about outreach is about evangelistic efforts. And of course, ministries partner with local nursing homes, homeless shelters, prison ministry. And so if your church is really involved in a community and reaching the lost, they wouldn't have these types of ministries. And so elders and ministers should be a part of those ministries and going out and witness and being that light and sharing the word of God and praying to people and encouraging people. And so as an elder, as a minister, you should know that and you should be a part of that. So we're going to talk about that in more detail in this particular session. And of course, even as it relates to that, when we're going into people's homes or going to the hospitals, we have to talk about gender, male and female, whether someone is single, and then you sending a single male to their home. We shouldn't be doing that, right? We need to go out 2 and 2, male and female, elder, minister, what have you, that's going to visit people in the hospital or in their homes, especially if someone is single, or you just don't want to show up at someone's home alone, right? So the other aspect we're going to talk about is pastoral counseling. Now, here's the deal. In the local church, what we find is there are very few ministries that have people on staff who are actually credentialed to do counseling, right? They've actually completed some sort of program, whether a 4-year program or an associate program or some other specialized training in counseling. Of course, pastors, especially pastors who've been serving for years, they have life experiences. They know the Word of God, and so they're almost like credentialed based upon their years that they have been serving in the capacity in which they serve. However, as newly ordained elders and ministers, many ministries don't have anything in place to actually properly train you on counseling, right? And so there are some legalities that you need to be aware of, even as it relates to being mandatory reporters, as it relates to counseling young people, especially minors, right, without their parents' permission. There is so much that the church doesn't know and that they don't teach and train people on. And if you're not a person that seek information, do the research, do your homework. So if they're not training you, get the training yourself, right? Because guess what? Sometimes you'll go out in the name of the church or represent what you think is representing your pastor, and you haven't been authorized to do so, and something occurs and you expect them to cover you from a legal perspective. 9 times out of 10, that is not going to happen, right? So you need to be mindful of that. You can't say you're representing your church if you're really not, if you haven't been sent to represent them. So we're going to talk about things like that, so that you can be properly informed, equipped, and prepared to carry out your function and responsibility as an ordained elder or licensed minister. And then finally, we're talking about personal ministry. Of course, you serve under a man and woman of God at a local church, but you are also called to ministry, and you have a ministry. And so therefore, people will call on you to perform whatever it might be, weddings, funerals, preaching or teaching at their church, at conferences, retreats, or other events. And so you want to be sure that you are properly prepared to go out, and you all should have professional bios, professional pictures, headshots. You should have, of course, know how to prepare as it relates to your prayer life, and certain things you need when you do go to nursing homes or hospital visits or home visits and things of that nature, and making sure you have proper credentials and all those good things. So I want to help prepare you for your personal ministry, right? And so if you've not yet joined the program, or if you're just interested in this particular course, be sure to get the information that's in the bio, in this description part, I should say, in the comment section or the description section, and be sure to enroll in the course and meet us next Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. I promise you, it is going to be a tremendous blessing. It always is, and I thank God for this opportunity to pour into men and women of God who are called by God to teach and preach the Word of God. So listen, I want you to go ahead and have an amazing day, because you are an amazing person, and we serve an amazing God. So go out there and make it a great day. Until the next time, be blessed. God bless you.